What's good, gente? It's your boy Conejo. Ya saben, man. We're right here posted, homie. And we got a good one for you guys today. As you guys can see on the thumbnail, I'm going to be speaking on two individuals from Los Angeles that pretty much moved up north and were able to establish, and not in a Sureño way, but because they became homeboys, right? They happen to be from my neighborhood, and they did big things, homie. They reached the highest level they could reach, homie, and they did their thing, homie, to be quite real. And unfortunately, one of them's doing time, and the other one, I believe he's out, homie. You know what I'm saying? But these were some solid ass individuals that happen to come from Los Angeles, and this is so that individuals know that a lot of people that end up moving around, just technically because you were born in a certain area, and because these individuals move when they were teenagers, doesn't mean that you end up becoming what you were around and that type of environment, and especially when they became from a certain hood that happens to rock blue, homie. You know what I'm saying? There's a video that I have posted about it where blue, like the flued up norteños, you know what I'm saying? Which just happens to be my neighborhood. So it's gonna be a profile pretty much on the homie Danger, the homie Bumperjack, and these are two members from my hood that are from Los Angeles. They were born and raised until they were teenagers. Ended up moving to Watsonville, California, and they ended up doing big things, homie. You know what I'm saying? To the whole underground world, I guess, if you want to put it in that aspect, where allegedly they did a couple things where people weren't too happy about. You know, where they ended up becoming, where they ended up doing time. That's why the homies, I believe he's out now, but he ended up getting busted and he ended up doing quite a little good stretch, homie. So shout out to the homie Danger, and yeah, man. So let me get into this video, man. Um, but before I start, if you're a new subscriber or a new viewer, homie, make sure to hit them likes for your boy. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and share with others, homie. And with all that being said, man, like I said, let's get started. So these two individuals, they're originally from Los Angeles. They ended up moving up north because probably because of financial reasons, and being that up here happens to be a place where there's a lot of work, honestly. Especially at the time that they happened to move over here, there was a lot of like strawberries and a lot of field work, right? But at times it happens to pay somewhat decent if you know what you're doing, and if you're actually about your money, you'll be able to establish. And especially being from Los Angeles, a place that happens to have a lot of raza, they ended up moving to another similar spot just up north, you know, where happens to be a nice, calm city that happens to be with a business, you know, and it happens to have a lot of the whole cholo stilo and all that. And I am going to be doing a little quick video on pretty much how it was back in the days, especially when these homies happened to move. And there's movies about it, right? So don't be surprised when you do see this video that I'm gonna be doing pretty soon, which is how it was cruising in the 80s. You know what I mean? So I know a lot of people have seen that movie, so I will be tapping on to that video pretty soon. So don't be surprised. And yeah, man. So these homies happen to move in this era when it happened to be all choloed out, right? And ended up becoming that they ended up becoming from my neighborhood, homie. Like I've been telling you guys, my neighborhood happens to be a hood that was pretty much created to protect the raza, right? Just that with time things get pretty much watered down and things ends up changing, right? They happen to come out from uh, a breakdancing crew where they used to break dance. They had a whole little thing going on where it just used to be a little bit different back then. You know, it was the whole different era back then, and people now in this age would be like, man, what the hell? What do you mean that the homies were over there breakdancing and doing all this type of stuff, right? But yeah, man, they were into sports, and it happened to be, I believe it was a baseball I'm not sure. I think it was a baseball. It happened to be a group of kids that were from that little area that lived right there on Clifford, and wanted to become more than just a friendship and stuff like that, especially since there was gangs around, homie, and since these were like some people that used to kick it right there, they used to get victimized, homie. You know, people don't like to speak on stuff like that, but yeah, bro. So they ended up establishing the hood called Clifford Manor, and these homies happen to be part of that. You know, they happen to come, I think, second generation. Because my hood has been around for quite a minute already. And after they established, pretty much, it got to the point where they were chasing fools out. I mean, there's been foods that because they have a like a little like the trails, I guess, with the little like some it's not a levee. It's like a little swamp, you know what I mean? And foods were known to get chased out of there, homie, from Sureños to even Northerners, homie. Like I said, my hood's always been a set tripping hood, and that's just the way they get down, G. So after that whole thing, these two individuals that happened to move in that area happened to like the whole get down, homie. When it came to the whole homies from the hood and just in general, homie, they like the stilo, and they ended up getting jumped in. I believe at the age of 16 or 17. Um, these two guys ended up actually doing things right because they were actually fools that were actually putting in work. Um, I'm not gonna say some of the crimes because I don't know if some of them are actually out there. I know some are because, like I did say, the homie did do time for being locked up. You know what I mean? For doing some. Well, I guess I could say that one. I guess I mean he tried to take someone out, someone from the hood. That was pretty much a directive that was from up there, and it's been spoken on other channels. Pretty much, Baby Joker had gave the a sanction a thing where he had to go. You know what I'm saying? So allegedly, right? So he ended up handling biz, where they ended up pretty much giving him life. But I believe he beat that case to be quite real, and he ended up actually going home. Because to my knowledge, there was someone that was supposedly dating him, and he was supposed to get released. So hopefully he did, homie. Because at the end of the day, he's a solid ass individual, and he's a good homie as well as a good tattoo artist. I remember this individuals, well, these two individuals, right, happened to be people that always had a lot of love for the hood. You know what I mean? And they actually took their time to actually teach and just get to know the youngsters, right? But back to these individuals. Pretty much after that had happened, well, these individuals got locked up. But these two individuals, a lot of people don't know that they happen to come from Los Angeles, right? And a lot of people, even Bumperjack had a fat ass Mongol. You know what I'm saying? And people get it twisted, like they would figure that people that are from down south that they would move up north. More than likely, they would become sureños. You know, especially since living down there at that age. More than likely, they had friendships. You know, and must have been weird and different when they went upstate. You know, because they more than likely ran into homeboys that they knew when they were young. Especially when you go to prison, bro, you run into a lot of people. You'd be surprised. And it's funny, eh? Now, like when we all sit back, like now that I sit back and trip out, when they come up and say like, "Oh, people from down south, y que sepa qué," right? How would it been, homie? Like, how must have been for them to actually move up north? And let's be quite real, like, hey, when people jam you up, like, hey, homie, where you from? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what area? And you tell them, like, oh, I'm actually from Los Angeles, especially in Watsonville, not being everybody be knowing that it's a northerner area. Oh damn, bro! I mean, it could have been vicious, homie. So them homies must have gone through some shit, you know. But no one could say nothing bad about these two individuals because they were known to be hitters, homie. Bumperjack was more of the quiet type of guy where he don't get me wrong, he spent a lot of time with the homies from the hood. Um, but he was more of a maestro, right? If he would have the homies there, he would rather be teaching you than actually be just chilling, smoking, and just having a good time. You get me? Which Danger happens to be a little bit more different. He was more a little bit more into like the younger type where he liked to interact with the youngsters, smoke, and you know what I mean. Be a little bit more into like kicking it like that. And his brother, on the other hand, like I said, he was a little bit more serious, but he was real dedicated, homie. Like, he was real dedicated to actually teaching the youngsters, like, look, bro, this is what we strive for. This is what, you know what I mean? Like, trying to teach them what the whole thing is about, and actually letting people know that we're still from the hood at the end of the day. He would still teach that little thing, you know. And like I said, these two guys actually became members. They were participating with the Reg. I know. Actually, Danger was actually a big homie. He was a carnal, and to my knowledge, I know that Old Boy was a bro, but I believe towards the end he did become actually a carnal too, which I can actually verify if that's something you guys are interested in. I would just have to tap in to either. Lo quemo, fuck it, homie. Have to tap in with a couple of the homies from Gilas. It's a homie from the hood that stays over there. He's well known too. As a matter of fact, he's been mentioned before. I fucking walk him out, homie. A sad man's homie, fucking triste. I hope you're doing good, homie, and you're to be known, G. But yeah, man, these two individuals ended up reaching like the highest level, right? That a northerner wants to be part of, at least if you want to be participating in that type of shit. They reached it, homie. And these two individuals happen to be from LA, which a lot of people are like, damn, like they trip out. And I know there's more individuals that are just like these two guys, that moved probably to different areas, San Jose. You gotta understand, back in the days, a lot of people from down south would move up north, right? They were moving up north, expanding, especially because Los Angeles was getting really overpacked, homie, right? It was getting really overpacked with raza, and let's be quite real, it's a dangerous place. So if you have a family, if you have kids, you want to raise them in a nice area, nice environment where you don't have to worry about your spot getting shot up. You know what I mean? Like, it just so people would expanded to move, even though those areas still happen to have a lot of Chicanos and just guerras, right? In general, it's not as bad as bigger cities. So yeah, man. This is gonna be a small little profile on the homie that are from Los Angeles, and yeah, man. So I hope you guys like this video. Shout outs to the homie Danger. Shout outs to the homie Bumperjack. I know that there's certain individuals that know these two individuals really good, especially because they done time with them. So with all that being said, man, make sure to hit like if you actually like the video. If you dislike the video, homie, I apologize. And like I've been telling you, just let me know what it is that you guys dislike so that we can work on it. And hopefully one day you just like the video in general. If you're a new viewer, make sure to subscribe, homie, and let me know what you guys think about these profiles. I will be pulling up the homie's case, and I'll be actually be doing a separate profile, and hopefully I can get some of the tattoos that old boy have done on homeboys from the hood, cause he actually got off. One of my boys, the homie Danger, had did a whole little Clifford thing, like a whole theme, and I'm not sure if that picture's up there, but if I can find it, I'll put it up, bro. So with all that being said, man, I hope you guys like this video. Like I said, make sure to share with others, homie. And yeah, man, it's your boy Conejo, and I'm out.